Hello and welcome to Sentinel Skills. Today, we'll explore working in high-risk environments and we'll see the information to avoid and dealing with these situations. Civil disturbance. Civil unrest, mob violence, looting and general disorder can occur in many countries. Resentment and frustration over the lack of access to essential services may result in staff being attacked, agency assets looted and disruption of all communication, including mobile phones and internet. Reducing exposure. Some measures which can help in minimizing the risk include relocation. If tensions are increasing and you seem to be at risk, consider relocating to a safe location. Restrict vehicle movements. Restrict the movement of vehicles during periods of unrest. Park vehicles inside the compound at a safe location away from the troubled areas. Monitor source of information. Gather information and develop an awareness of the situation through local media or by talking to your local colleagues. Escalating tensions are usually evident well before they erupt into something more serious. Monitor demonstrators. Monitor trends of unrest, riots and demonstrations and how these might impact your operations, staff, and assets. Try to determine the purpose and motive behind the unrest and whether these demonstrations may lead to violence. Move valuables to a safer location. Move valuables, computers, radios, satellite phones, etc., from offices and residences to a more secure location if your organization is vulnerable or specifically targeted. Remove logos from buildings. If your organization has a good level of acceptance, having a logo on a building or vehicle may protect you and your colleagues. However, if your organization is deemed a target, then consider removing the logos when possible. Reduce exposure. Limit exposure to demonstration or rallies by remaining at residences or offices. Keep away from the windows and doors. Keep buildings locked from the inside and restrict all types of movement during the hours of disturbance. Dealing with incidents. You may have to deal with civil disturbance while in a building, as well as traveling on foot, or by vehicle. Within a building. Contact other staff and agencies at risk. Ensure that all gates, doors and windows are locked. Instruct guards not to open the gate unless physically threatened. If you plan to defuse the situation, invite a few representatives of the group to the compound to discuss their grievances. Remember to remain calm, listen attentively, be respectful, and avoid making promises. Consider evacuating the building from another exit if the crowd appears violent. If evacuation is not possible, move to a safe room or shelter. Do not resist if you are being looted. Evacuate the building in case the situation escalates. While walking, seek information on what is happening. Keep your organization informed of your location, movements, and the situation. Quickly move away from the area of unrest. Seek shelter with another agency, an embassy, local hospital, religious building, or with a willing local resident. Act passive but calm if you are confronted by an angry crowd. If possible and appropriate, identify yourself as an aid worker and try to defuse the situation. Do not resist any demands. While driving, lock the doors. Do not get out of the vehicle unless forced or to escape danger. Do not resist being removed. Stop the vehicle, carefully turn around, and proceed to a safe location. Inform your organization of your location and what is happening. Remain calm if the crowd prevents your vehicle from leaving. If possible and appropriate, identify yourself as an aid worker and try to defuse the situation. Next situation could be crossfire. Cover and concealment. Crossfire refers to the shooting between individuals or combatants using firearms. This places you at the risk of being hit by a stray bullet. Concealment and cover are necessary to protect yourself. The degree of cover provided by the objects in our surroundings varies greatly and depends on the material type and its density. Although softer objects like bushes, small plants, or trees conceal you from shooters, they do not block bullets. Hard objects like boulders and thick concrete walls or metal sheets not only conceal you, but also provide better cover because they better block bullets. Minimizing your risk. These measures can reduce your risk. Be alert for potential targets. Military checkpoints and buildings, convoys, and personnel. Government buildings. Banks and other financial hubs. Buildings used by insurgents. Identify areas of armed conflict. Avoid areas known for conflict currently and in the past. Survey your surroundings. Continually survey your surroundings and be aware of the possible objects around you that provide cover and concealment in case of a crossfire. Practice your reaction to crossfire. Rehearse mentally and physically the actions to be taken when caught in a crossfire. Get down on the ground immediately and start crawling towards the closest cover. Adhere to site protection procedures. Follow your organization's site protection procedures. These could involve keeping doors and windows locked, closing curtains, and switching off lights when there is a possible threat in and around the building. Practice evacuation procedures. Dealing with an incident. You may get caught in crossfire while in a building, as well as traveling on foot, or by vehicle. Within a building. Keep clear of windows and doors. Resist the urge to look out. Do not go out on balconies, roofs, or in courtyards. Lie down and crawl behind a concrete wall or seek protection in a bathroom, basement, or under the staircase. Wait until the shooting has ceased before leaving the cover to seek information on the situation. While walking, drop quickly to the ground and lie flat. Stay low and move to immediate cover and concealment when there is a pause in shooting. Observe the reaction of the people around you and try to determine what is happening. Decide whether it is possible and safe to move to another location away from the conflict. While driving, drive quickly but safely away from the area if the road ahead is clear. Turn around slowly to indicate your peaceful intent, then drive to a safer location if the shooting is ahead. Stop the vehicle, get out, and seek cover and concealment away from the vehicle. Observe all the cautions which were discussed in earlier section. Landmines, unexploded ordnance, UXOs, and improvised explosive devices, IEDs. The threat of landmines, UXOs, and IEDs is very common and dangerous. Landmines. Found in metal, plastic, and wood casing. Anti-personnel mines are small and designed to injure or kill an individual. They can disable a vehicle. Anti-tank mines are large and designed to destroy armored vehicles. Unexploded ordnance, UXOs. Aircraft bombs, rockets, artillery shells. Could explode at any time. Improvised explosive devices, IEDs. Many forms, ranging from a small pipe bomb to a sophisticated device capable of causing massive damage and loss of life. Can be carried or delivered in a vehicle, carried, placed, or thrown by a person, delivered in a package, or concealed on the roadside. Identifying the presence of potential explosives. Aid agency staff should be aware of signs, both obvious and hidden, indicating the presence of mines and UXOs. Sign with a red triangle and the word mine. Usually near a barbed wire fence. Small stones painted in red and white. Battlefield bunkers, barbed wire, ammunition dumps, helmets, destroyed military vehicles, abandoned weapons, and other evidence of previous fighting. Animal or human remains, scraps of clothing, or similar signs indicating casualties of a mine blast. Abandoned buildings and vehicles. Overgrown and uncultivated fields. Responding to victims in a mined area. Never immediately approach injured individuals, as it is common for people to be killed or injured themselves while attempting a rescue. Also, the initial explosion may have exposed other devices. Instead, staff should assess the situation and call for help before taking any action. Guidelines for responding. Follow these guidelines if you see a mine casualty. Do not rush to help, even if the victim is screaming. The initial explosion may have exposed other devices, or the victim's body may be concealing triggered mines. Reassure the victim and tell them to remain still. Assess the victim's injuries from a distance. Call for assistance using a radio, but further away from the scene to prevent accidentally triggering an explosion. Attempt to pull the victim to safety using a rope if they can assist in their own rescue. Thank you for watching the video. If you found the video helpful, please share with your friends and colleagues. Please also subscribe to our channel to see more educational videos on safety and security. Please stay safe.